Okay, I'm about to start putting together the tomato sauce for tomorrow's eggplant parmesan recipe. This will just make tomorrow go a lot smoother and quicker when I get home from work and have to make the eggplant parmesan. So I have, I'm having the recipe. I'll post it below, the one I'm using. It's from Mario Batali, I think. But here's half of an onion diced up and 2 cloves of garlic that I sliced thinly. And this is a 28-ounce can of whole tomatoes that I squished up with my hands, so that felt cool. And then here's some carrot, a little bit of a carrot that I grated, and some fresh thyme that I chopped up. It's a 1.5 tablespoons. So I'm gonna saute this in the olive oil and then add the rest. I've had the onions cooking on medium, nice and slow for about 8 minutes, and now we're gonna add the carrot and fresh thyme. Can I please get an assistant to use the spoon to scrape it out? And we'll cook it for about 5 more minutes on medium. Okay, yummy, so fresh and so good. Look how good that looks, and it smells so good. So that's been cooking on medium for about 5 minutes. Now we're gonna add el tomato sauce. Bring it to a boil. We'll bring it to a boil and then turn it down and let it simmer for 30 minutes. And I'll season it with some salt, and that will be it. Delicious homemade tomato sauce. I'm getting the eggplant ready, about to stick it in the oven. I just sliced it up about 1 inch thick and greased this sheet with olive oil and sprinkled a little bit of salt and pepper on both sides, and we're gonna put it in a 450-degree oven for like 12 to 15 minutes, I think. I left the eggplant in there for 15 minutes. Now I need to change the oven to 350. I had some panko breadcrumbs and I toasted them under the broiler and burnt them a little, but whatever. Here's my sauce. I warmed it back up. So now what I'm going to do is I placed half of the eggplant in here. Here now I'm going to add some of the tomato sauce over each slice. Then here's my mozzarella and freshly grated Parmesan, that fancy one, expensive one that we bought. And half of the basil was ruined. That made me mad, but this is what I got out of it, and I'm gonna put a little bit of basil over each slice. Now I'm gonna put 1 slice of the mozzarella over each. This mozzarella was pre-sliced, so that was pretty cool. Made it really easy. And then I'm going to sprinkle with a little bit of the Parmesan. And then we're going to repeat the layers. Here it is. Doesn't it look amazing? I did a second layer and then I sprinkled some breadcrumbs on top. And now we're just going to stick it in a 350-degree oven for about 20 minutes. And I'm super excited. And if you buy the cheese like I got, I ate a piece, and then you won't have one, you'll be short one if you eat a piece like I did. So, piece of advice, don't eat a piece. Here it is after baking for 20 minutes, all melty and juicy, and look how good it is. We got some bread in the oven, toasting, and salad on the table. Here it is all plated up, a yummy Caesar salad, and I burnt the bread a little bit like always. And Jared, what do you think about your eggplant?
It's really good. It's kind of got a meaty flavor, meaty
flavor?
Not meaty flavor, but
texture?
Yeah, texture. So it's good. I like it.
I've been looking forward to it all week.
Men out there, I think it's good.
So I'll post the recipe below. Let me know if you guys ever try it out. Okay, so we lied a little bit.
Yeah.
Jared's not a huge fan of the texture of the eggplant.
It started getting really,
he doesn't like the skin.
It's like whale skin or something.
And now he's just saying nasty things to make it gross. But I loved it. And when we cook eggplant like Japanese style, he loves it. So there's something about the skin he doesn't like.
Let me tell you.
But this has great flavor.
It's too thick. The eggplants are too thick. Yeah. They need to thin them down a little bit.
Alright, well, just wanted to be honest with you guys.
Yep. You need to thin them down a little bit.
Okay, I know this is really weird, but it's Sunday night and JoJo's not here. And this is my supper. I have not had any veggies today, so I made me a spinach smoothie. And I'm eating some of the leftover eggplant parmesan. And Jared, we went to Costco a while ago, and against my wishes, he got Raisin Cane's because he just couldn't resist it. So this is my weird random supper. For Meatless Monday, I'm making this roasted red pepper potato soup. I've made it once before and it was good. I'm sauteing the onions. Those were not fun to cut. And the other ingredients are 3 cups of potatoes, some roasted red peppers I chopped up, some vegetable broth, diced green chilies, salt, coriander, cumin, and then it's also going to have like fresh lemon juice, cilantro, and some cream cheese in it. After the onions cooked through, I added the roasted red peppers, the green chilies, and the seasonings, cumin, coriander, and salt, and I'm just going to let it cook for a couple minutes, and then add the potatoes and the vegetable broth. I've let it cook for a couple minutes, so now I'm going to add the vegetable broth and the potatoes. It calls for 3 cups of potatoes. I cut up a little bit more. I think it's almost 4 cups that I cut up. So I also added like some more vegetable broth than what it calls for too. Okay, and we're gonna bring that to a boil. And then after it starts boiling, we'll cover it and turn it down to low and let it simmer for about 15 minutes. And I'm gonna go ahead and chop up the cilantro and squeeze the lemon juice. After 15 minutes, I put in 2 tablespoons of cilantro and 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. Well, I did a little bit more lemon juice because I added more potatoes and broth. But now I'm going to put half of this into our blender with the cream cheese and blend it. Then mix it all back together and it will be done. And then we're gonna warm up some bread. Here it is all done, our roasted red pepper potato soup. And bread, which I burn every time. I don't know if this is like a Mexican style soup or it has a lot of cumin flavor, and for some reason that reminds me of like Indian food. So, but I don't know anything about Indian food, so I don't know if it's like Indian type soup or Mexican because it's got cumin and cilantro, which I think of as Mexican, so I don't know, but it's a good meatless meal.
You burned bread, did you?
Yes, I did. When you puree it in the blender, make sure you leave plenty of the potato chunks if you like the chunky part. Like that's what Jared likes, so don't puree too much of it up. But let me know if y'all try this out. If you like cumin flavor, it's good. Hello everyone, it's Wednesday night and hi JoJo! And we're just having some glazed pork chops. It's literally just pork chops with these seasonings: brown sugar, cayenne pepper, garlic powder, paprika, salt and pepper. You mix them all up and rub them on the pork chops, and then cook it in a skillet on the stove, and then transfer it to the oven for a few minutes. And it's really flavorful. Jared likes it a lot. We haven't had it in a while. And then we're gonna make our oven roasted asparagus, and Jared's got some fresh rosemary going with the skillet potatoes. Salt, pepper, garlic powder, and rosemary. Here it is all done, our asparagus, potatoes, and pork chops. It's a pretty healthy, easy, quick meal. The pork chop recipe is from Budget Bites, so obviously it's budget friendly. And I will post the recipes for the asparagus and pork chops below. Okay guys, I just got home from work. It's Thursday. Before I left work this morning, I got this roast ready. It's a Pioneer Woman's. roast recipe. I've never made it before, and her directions say to put it in the oven, but I don't have one of those types of pans to put it in the oven, so I made it in the crock pot. So it's been in here for like 9 hours. I left Jared notes to be checking on it today and turn it down when needed, and he's like, no, it's fine, but it's like really, really tender, which is a good thing, I guess. Yeah, it's supposed to be. I hope that the carrots and onions aren't too tender. So I tasted it, and it tastes pretty good. I put 3 sprigs of fresh rosemary and 3 sprigs of fresh thyme in it, and I think that it's a little too much of those flavors. Maybe I should have done 2 of each, and I'm not sure if it's the thyme or the rosemary that I'm tasting, but it's still good. I'm about to make some mashed potatoes with it, so I'm sure that it will taste amazing over the mashed potatoes. And also, like, I had to throw this stuff into a pan and brown it before putting it in the crock pot, and then after I browned it, I deglazed the pan, and she said you could either use red wine or beef broth, and I used beef broth so I wouldn't have to buy a whole bottle of wine just for 1 cup worth, since, you know, I can't really drink it since I'm pregnant. So I would have loved to have tried it with wine. I definitely would next time. I don't know how much different it would make it taste, but that's all that I did differently on the recipe. I'll post the recipe below and show you guys dinner when we eat it and let you know what we think. I'm working on the mashed potatoes, and I know we've had a lot of potatoes this week. That's bad, but whatever. I didn't make mashed potatoes for the longest time because I had no idea how, and then finally I just decided to give it a try, and I just kind of throw stuff together. They're not perfect, but they come out pretty good, and they're definitely not healthy. I just boiled some red potatoes, cut them in half, boil them, and then mash them, and these are the things that I add. Don't judge me. Some butter, milk, a little bit of mayo and ranch, just a little, and then like salt and pepper and a little bit of garlic salt, and just kind of taste it as I'm going along. And it's gonna taste really good with the gravy. And I got some green beans roasting. I made them kind of like I made the asparagus. They're fresh green beans, and I put olive oil, kosher salt, fresh black pepper, a little bit of garlic powder, and then I'm gonna put some Parmesan cheese on them.
Boom! There it is. Roast beef with carrots, a little au sauce, some green beans, which are okay, but the mashed potatoes are really good, and some onion, and we've had it cooking all day. It's been smelling amazing. Yeah, and I love it. So,
what do you think about it compared to our usual roast beef?
I think this is really, really good.
Is it better?
Yeah, it's probably the best. It's got a lot of good flavor.
Are you still vlogging?
Mm-hmm. So,
I like the green beans. I burnt them a little, but they're good.
Make it for your man, or make it for your woman. It's easy. Bye.